This is UNN, Urban Network News, national news and information for and about people of color. And this time, the color is orange. The consequences of President-elect Donald Trump fulfilling his promise to abolish the Department of Education will have a widespread effect on students from kindergarten to 12th grade, along with low-income college students. He's also suggested that he would scale back temporary protected status, which allows people already in the United States to stay and work legally if their homelands are deemed unsafe. The president-elect wants to replace General Lloyd Austin III, the nation's first black Secretary of Defense, with a former Army National Guardsman and Fox News commentator. As Trump reveals his questionable cabinet picks, the question is asked, will black supporters Tim Scott and Byron Donalds get their black jobs, or will all of their shucking and jiving be in vain?
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Then here's a great idea. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Yes, one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program and we'll come and remove your car for free. And you get a tax deduction. Call the Veteran Donation Program now.
800-880-5013. That's 800-880-5013.
You've been listening to UNN, Urban Network News, national news and information for and about people of color.
All right. You are listening now to the BFTAA and More show. You just got UNN News, and we'll play that again at the end of the show for those of you that joined us just a second too late. But that was the Urban News Network that we run on KUAW Radio, and I also want to make sure that we get it out on our streaming sites. That was the UNN News. So we're glad to join you. My name is Louis George Walker, L. George Walker on Facebook. But I'm here with you. I'm with the Black Family Technology Awareness Association and the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center, who came together to form this radio station, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom. We call it KUAW. So welcome to KUAW Radio. And if you're listening to us now, you're probably picking us up on Facebook or YouTube, maybe even Twitter, not quite Twitter yet. I've got to swing us over to Twitter. Now that they've changed the way you have to pay, I have to go into it manually to bring it up. And let's see, where did I put it? I may have closed it out, which I think I did. See if we can get YouTube up here so that we can stream out on it also. We want to make sure that we're hitting all the right places. So we'll go here and let's see. Oh, I want to go to my live. Go live. So yeah, we're streaming out on YouTube, Twitter, and we'll get Twitter up, or what used to be Twitter, now known as X. Let me see if I can get that link shot over to it. You have to click on the link. We don't just pop up live, but we'll... because now they want you to pay for that, and we will pay when we get the money rolling in. So like and share this to a lot of your friends so that we can get the funds to make sure that we can carry this load. Let's see, KUAW Radio. That is us. So we're live right now on KUAW Radio on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. You can pick us up on any of those, and we also broadcast over the internet. This is an internet radio station, so we're broadcasting on Get Me Radio, on the online radio box, on the TuneIn app. And if you have a Google or Amazon Amazon subscription, you can go there. Roku, we're on that. Just search KUAW Radio. There's a lot of ways that you can pick us up. And those are some of them. We're on Roku and Fire Stick. We're on the Apple. We're on everything. We're just all over the place with KUAW Radio. So we'll be glad to have you join in on this radio broadcast today. So like and share, tell your friends about it. This is about KUAW. We're knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. We do a lot about technology. I also talk about what's going on in the community. Now, our organization, the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, We have a couple of programs that we're running right now. We're doing basic computer classes for adults. So those 55 and over can learn basic computing. So we've got that available right now. The classes are already taken. So we have classes for 55 and over on Tuesdays from 12 noon to 1:30, and then from 2 to 3:30. So we have two classes going on right now, and we'll in the spring we'll bring two more online. So we're looking to be able to get your basic computer training going. We also have a youth robotic or youth technology club that's focusing right now on robotics, and we just went to a Lego robotics competition or a tournament last Saturday, and our kids had a great time. It was a full day, and I have you some photos that I'll show you from that. It was really a good time out there, and hats off to the KC STEM Alliance and all of those involved in the Lego robotics tournament. I think it was a great showing. We had a fun time, and I think the kids really get a lot out of it. Those are the things that we like to do. We're working with adults, we're working with children, we're working with families to get them involved in technology and finding out how you can use technology to improve your standard of living, to get excited about learning new things and learning how to use different technologies. All of that is part of what we do here at KUAW Radio. And we do this every week right here. And then down at the WEB Du Bois Learning Center, where we have our studio. I'm at home in the studio right now in a remote location. But we have a studio also that we broadcast from. And we've got young people that are getting ready to start coming on there. A young lady that's going to start her podcast from KUAW Studios. So we're doing a lot of work to try and get technology into the hands of the community in the underserved communities. And we're open to everyone. Anyone can sign up for our classes when we have them. Any student can get enrolled into our robotics and technology program. Join the Youth Technology Club and be a part of what we're doing right here in Kansas City, Missouri. So we're glad that we're here. We're glad that we're able to join and show you what's going on. And we're going to do even more of that as we go forward throughout this day. So another thing that we always do in one of our regular shows is to show you what's going on with NASA. NASA is the technology arm, research and development arm for the U.S. government. And as such, we're always glad to bring it to you so that you can see it. Wait, don't want to bring it just yet. Yeah, I think we got it started out there on you a little bit early. Let me see if I can shut this down a little bit. Okay, it's not talking much. So. Let's see. Sometimes it decides to work as it wants to work. So we'll see if we can get that. I don't know if I opened up a program. I tell you, some days I get going good, then I get ahead of myself. So let's see if we can stop this program that we just started, or the video that we just started, so that it's, let's see. No, that doesn't shut it off. How do we get this thing shut down when not visible? We told it to do that. There we go. There we go. Okay. No, we didn't do it. Oh, my goodness. Okay, we're going to go now. Right now, we're going to take you to Space to Ground so that you can see that since it's going anyway. So here we go. Let me get out of the way. I tell you, some days this technology just really wants to act different with me. But here we go. These deliveries also carry critical hardware and important science research and equipment to make good use of the unique microgravity environment of the space station. The next cargo delivery will be the unpiloted Progress 9. Welcome to Space to Ground. I'm Sandra Jones. As we near the holiday season, many of us may have package deliveries on our mind.
But for the crew aboard the International Space Station, they too will have an upcoming delivery of food, fuel, and supplies. While some food is grown on board Space Station, much of it is sent on cargo deliveries. These deliveries also carry critical hardware and important science research and equipment to make good use of the unique microgravity environment of the space station. The next cargo delivery will be the unpiloted Progress 90 spacecraft, which is scheduled to launch at 7:22 a.m. Eastern or 5:22 p.m. in Baikonur on November 21st on a Soyuz rocket from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. On board is nearly 3 tons of supplies packed inside. After a 2-day in-orbit journey to the space station, the spacecraft will autonomously dock to the space-facing port of the Poisk module at 8:35 a.m. on Saturday, November 23rd. The spacecraft will remain docked at the space station for approximately 6 months before departing for a re-entry into Earth's atmosphere to dispose of trash loaded by the crew. And earlier this month, another cargo spacecraft, NASA's SpaceX 31st Commercial Resupply Mission, arrived to the space station following its launch on November 5th. The crew on board has been busy with the science that arrived on this spacecraft ever since. On Wednesday, NASA astronaut Butch Wilmore worked to replace samples in the combustion rack for the Residence Time-driven flame spread experiment, which examines solid fuel flame spread in microgravity. Theoretical modeling predicts that this flame spread is affected by fuel thickness and ambient pressure, and the investigation varies those 2 parameters to gain insight into the mechanisms involved. Results could provide data useful in achieving fire safety goals for future crewed missions. Understanding the behavior of flame spread in microgravity has direct implications to fire safety in spacecraft. This investigation could help to enhance flame extinguishment predictions and provide new insights for flames spreading in microgravity. Results from different conditions could also aid in the development of computational tools that predict fire safety of different materials. Since November 2000, crew members aboard Space Station have used ham radio to communicate with people on Earth through this educational program, also known as amateur radio on the International Space Station, or ARIES. So far, there have been more than 1,700 events directly engaging students and listeners from 49 U.S. states, 63 countries, and all 7 continents. Students study the space station, radio waves, amateur radio technology, and related topics before their call from space, which encourages interest in science, technology, engineering, and math. Now through November 17th, ARIES is accepting applications from formal and informal education institutions and organizations that want to host events in summer or fall of 2025. So if you're interested, now's your chance to apply. You can follow more exciting developments and updates on the International Space Station by visiting blog.nasa.gov/spacestation. And that's Space to Ground for this week. Thanks so much for watching.
All right, that was NASA Space to Ground, and we're glad that you was able to see all of that that's going on there. I tell you, they do so much stuff up on that space station. It is amazing how they're able to take things up and down, and that, 6 months or longer that the astronauts are on board, and the work that they're doing, learning to live and to work in space. So we like to show that, and we especially want to get our young people interested in that type of research, discovery, looking at that as a career opportunity, or just as something they really like to do. Because if you work at something that you like, then you don't have a job, you got a career, and you're just looking to move within it. And that's what is exciting for a lot of people. And, it's more than just going to work and punching a clock. But if you feel like you're really doing something, and it doesn't have to be going into space. I mean, if you have that same feeling and drive when you go to work at Ford or at Boeing aircraft or whatever, But as long as you know you're doing something that you love doing, of building things, of working as a plumber, fixing things, correcting things, having something that you have a passion for and can get paid to do, oh, that's the best thing you could have in the world is doing something that you like doing and get paid for it. Whether it's your own business or that you're working for somebody else, however you're doing it, there's a lot of ways that we can encourage our young people to grow and develop to be productive citizens, not just of the United States, but citizens of the world. So when you watch these shows, that's what we're looking at, and you can tell your kids about it. And you can go to nasa.gov, NASA.gov, and see a lot of different videos, and they have a lot of experiments and things that your kids can work on, can learn to build and experiment with themselves. So that's what we like to bring, why we like to bring this to you, so that you can get some ideas and pass them on to the kids. Or you may want to do some of those experiments yourself. Nothing's wrong with it and stuff. If you've got that curious mind, that helps keep you going and stuff. Stay curious, stay wanting to know what's going on. Now, the next thing we've got coming up is the What's Up from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which is going for the month of November to show you what's up in the night sky that you can look at, that you can take your family out and take a look up. If it's clear right now, it's rainy in Kansas City and cloudy, so can't see much of anything. But on a clear night, when you go out and look up at the stars, it is fantastic. And if you go out to a park somewhere where there's no street lights around, it even gets more fantastic, if that's a phrase that you could use. But, you know, what's out there in the night sky is really amazing. So let's take a look right now at what's up from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
What's up for November? When to look for Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars this month? A NASA spacecraft swings by Venus on its way to the sun. The tricky business of seeing the moon hide a bright star. And stick around till the end for photos of highlights from last month's skies. Saturn is visible toward the south for most of the night. For observers in the Americas, it has a close meetup with the moon on the 10th, when the pair will appear less than a degree apart just after dark, making for a great sight through binoculars. Check the sky again around midnight, and you'll see the moon has visibly shifted a couple of degrees west of Saturn, showing evidence of the moon's orbital motion in just a few hours. Jupiter is rising in the east early in the night, together with the bright stars of the constellations Taurus and Orion, and working its way across the sky by dawn. By the end of November, it's rising just as the sky is getting dark. Mars follows behind Jupiter, rising about 3 hours after the giant planet. As in October, early risers will find the red planet high overhead in the morning sky before dawn. In the evening sky, Venus is low in the southwest following sunset throughout the month of November. It's blazing bright and unmistakable if you find a relatively unobstructed view. It appears much higher in the sky for those in the southern hemisphere, who will also be able to easily observe Mercury after sunset this month. And on the 4th, a slim crescent moon will appear just below Venus for a beautiful pairing as the glow of sunset fades. Now, staying with Venus, one of NASA's intrepid solar system explorers is headed for a close encounter with this Earth-sized hothouse of a planet on November 6th. Parker Solar Probe studies our planet's nearest star, the Sun. Its mission is to trace the flow of energy that heats the Sun's outer atmosphere and accelerates the million-mile-per-hour stream of particles it emits. It makes its measurements from super close to the Sun, within the region where all the action happens. To do this, the spacecraft was designed to fly within just 4 million miles of the Sun's surface, which is 10 times closer than the orbit of the closest planet, Mercury. No other spacecraft has ever gotten this close to the Sun before. In the 6 years since its launch, the spacecraft has made a bunch of approaches to the Sun, using flybys of the planet Venus to shape its orbit. The November 6th flyby is the final such maneuver, intended to send the spacecraft toward its 3 closest ever solar approaches, starting on December 24th. During this last Venus flyby, the mission will capture images of the planet. Previous views returned by Parker showed that the spacecraft could actually see features on the Venusian surface through its dense cloud cover. So look out for Venus in the evening sky as the brilliant planet helps a craft from Earth to touch the face of the sun. In the couple of hours before sunrise on November 27th, skywatchers in the eastern half of the U.S. and Canada will have the chance to witness an occultation, an event where the moon passes in front of and temporarily hides a bright star, in this case, Spica. Observers in other parts of the world will see the moon pass extremely close to Spica, but won't see it cover up the star. This occultation is one of a series that began in June and will continue monthly through late next year. These happen as the moon's orbit slowly shifts northward and southward across the sky, and every so often its path crosses in front of Spica monthly for a time. But each occultation is only visible from a small portion of Earth. For example, while this November event favors North American viewers, South American observers will get their chance next April. For U.S. skywatchers, this November occultation is the last good opportunity in this series to see the moon occult Spica until 2032, when a new series of monthly occultations will begin for locations across the globe. Now, what's up for November? When to look for Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars this month? A NASA spacecraft swings by Venus on its way to the Sun. The tricky business of seeing the moon hide a bright star. And stick around till the end for photos of highlights from last month's skies. Saturn is visible toward the south for most of the night. For observers in the Americas, it has a close meetup with the moon on the 10th, when the pair will appear less than a degree apart just after dark, making for a great sight through binoculars. Check the sky again around midnight and you'll see the moon has visibly shifted a couple of degrees west of Saturn, showing evidence of the moon's orbital motion in just a few hours. Jupiter is rising in the east early in the night together with the bright stars of the constellations Taurus and Orion, and working its way across the sky by dawn. By the end of November, it's rising just as the sky is getting dark. Mars follows behind Jupiter, rising about 3 hours after the giant planet. As in October, early risers will find the red planet high overhead in the morning sky before dawn. In the evening sky, Venus is low in the southwest following sunset throughout the month of November. It's blazing bright and unmistakable if you find a relatively unobstructed view. It appears much higher in the sky for those in the southern hemisphere who will also be able to easily observe Mercury after sunset this month. And on the 4th, a slim crescent moon will appear just below Venus for a beautiful pairing as the glow of sunset fades. Now, staying with Venus, one of NASA's intrepid solar system explorers is headed for a close encounter with this Earth-sized hothouse of a planet on November 6th. Parker Solar Probe studies our planet's nearest star, the Sun. Its mission is to trace the flow of energy that heats the Sun's outer atmosphere and accelerates the million-mile-per-hour stream of particles it emits. It makes its measurements from super close to the Sun, within the region where all the action happens. To do this, the spacecraft was designed to fly within just 4 million miles of the Sun's surface, which is 10 times closer than the orbit of the closest planet, Mercury. No other spacecraft has ever gotten this close to the Sun before. In the 6 years since its launch, the spacecraft has made a bunch of approaches to the Sun, using flybys of the planet Venus to shape its orbit. The November 6th flyby is the final such maneuver intended to send the spacecraft toward its 3 closest ever solar approaches, starting on December 24th. During this last Venus flyby, the mission will capture images of the planet. Previous views returned by Parker showed that the spacecraft could actually see features on the Venusian surface through its dense cloud cover. So look out for Venus in the evening sky as the brilliant planet helps a craft from Earth to touch the face of the Sun. In the couple of hours before sunrise on November 27th, skywatchers in the eastern half of the US and Canada will have the chance to witness an occultation, an event where the moon passes in front of and temporarily hides a bright star, in this case, Spica. Observers in other parts of the world will see the moon pass extremely close to Spica, but won't see it cover up the star. This occultation is one of a series that began in June and will continue monthly through late next year. These happen as the moon's orbit slowly shifts northward and southward across the sky, and every so often its path crosses in front of Spica monthly for a time. but each occultation is only visible from a small portion of Earth. For example, while this November event favors North American viewers, South American observers will get their chance next April. For US skywatchers, this November occultation is the last good opportunity in this series to see the moon occult Spica until 2032, when a new series of monthly occultations will begin for locations across the globe. Now, if you miss this event, don't worry. The moon also passes in front of 3 other bright stars from time to time. This means that no matter where you're located, you'll have the opportunity before too long to witness the impressive sight of a bright star briefly disappearing behind the moon. Here are views of what some of the highlights we told you about in last month's video actually looked like. And here are the phases of the moon for November. Stay up to date on all of NASA's missions exploring the solar system and beyond at science.nasa.gov. I'm Preston Dykes from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and that's what's up for this month.
All right. So that's what's up from NASA. Yeah, sorry about that. I know the first time it was running, didn't have the sound cut on, so you probably didn't get to hear it. That's why I let it run again. This broadcast today is going to be cut a little bit short. I have an important phone call that I have to catch up on, but I do want to go over and let you know that this last Saturday, the 17th or the 16th of November, our youth robotics club, our youth technology club that works with the Lego robotics competition, went to a tournament, and we had a great time at it Saturday. I wanted to show you a little bit of the kids. You know how you always want to show the home movies and the videos. So I have to show you a little bit of what our young people were able to accomplish. If I can find the slideshow, I will get it up here on the screen in just a second. I think I got it here. There it is. Okay, we went to North Kansas City High School. Kansas City High School, Saturday, there was a Lego League competition that's held by or hosted by the school and the KC STEM Alliance. The KC STEM Alliance puts on a lot of events throughout the city to help young people get involved in technology, science, technology, engineering, and math. So we went there, we took our kids there. Our team composed of mostly rookies, first year robotics students, but we did have 2 veteran team members out of the 6 kids that we took. And the name of the team is the Coding Stars. So the Coding Stars were out there, and here's a little bit of what they look like. I've got some video that I'm getting ready to edit and try and get onto Facebook. If you go to the BFTAA or KUAW Facebook page, you will see a short live broadcast, a reel that I made from the event. And I've got, maybe about 60 seconds more that I'm going to add to put another reel out. But this is our kids. This is what we did Saturday. All right, there's a couple of our robotics students. Both of these are rookie students. The one in the front is 9 years old, and the young lady back there is 10. So these were youngsters. We work with kids from 9 to 18 years old. They're at the Lego competition. They have their robot. He has it right in front of him. The different objects that you see out there are missions that they have to complete in order to get trophies, not trophies, but to get points to see who's going to be the winner. And then those that get the most points, the top 8 teams get an opportunity to go to the regional competition, which is going to be down at the Union Station in January. So this was the first tournament to get the qualifiers for the next event. So these kids were there. They were excited. You see her with the T-shirt on, Coding Stars. That's their logo. This is the full team. This is all 6 of them here, from the front to the back, with another team, friends that they met at the event. And it's always good that the kids get out and meet other young people that have some of the same interests. the young man, the blonde that's kind of leaning forward, him and the other young man, our 9-year-old and his father, exchange contact information so that they can stay in touch after the event. So these are the type of collaborations that we like to see. The kids are out there, they're having a great time, and they're learning, they're meeting other people, they're expanding their vision, their horizon of what's available, what they can do, what they can see, and be around. So it's always good to get the young people out in the public. And then the public can see our young people that are doing some great things. Now, this was them. That's a judge that actually judges and scores how they perform on the field. Once they let that robot go in the white area, they can't touch it again until it gets back into the white area, or they'll lose points. Those little red look like checkers that are in front of his fingers. He takes one of those off every time they touch it if it's not in the white square, and that they lose points on that. As you look there, you see he's got two of them down on the mat. So there was two times that they touched that robot without it being in the white square. Also, there's all these missions out there that they had to work around. So the kids were learning, they were going at it. And those are two of our volunteers. The head coach we have over on the right is Miguel Fernandez, and Ben, he is a new volunteer helper with us. They're great guys. They spent the day out there working with these kids and having a great time. You know, it's a long day, it's a tournament, but you get to see the kids at work trying to learn, and every once in a while they have this inspiration that, you know, oh, we could do something different. And our kids scored 10 extra points every time they went. They were in 3 different matches, and they got 10 higher each time. So they got better as it went along. By the last time, they had the robot do a mission that they hadn't done while we were in practice or while we were back in class. And they got it to complete that task by adding programming right there at the tournament. So it's kind of good to see the kids constantly thinking and looking to do better. Now here is showing how things go full service. That's myself with the Coding Star shirt on, and the young man that's standing next to me, he was working with the Grandview Lego robotics team from one of the Grandview middle schools, I believe. And the reason that I was happy to see him, he used to be on our robotics team back in 2014. He was a student of robotics, and now that he's graduated from college and, you know, starting a career, I think he told me he's working out at Honeywell right now. But he's trying to give back to the students in Grandview and stuff. You know, he said he wanted to try and inspire some of them the way we inspired him. So it was great to see Jeremiah out there, because, you know, it's just like, wow, you know, now here you are out here working with some kids. And we were working with him while he was in elementary and middle school. I think he worked with us until he's in high school, not until he graduated, but he was with us about 3 years. So it's always good to work with young people and then see how they grow to better themselves, you know. And then we had a lot of parental support. You know, there were a lot of parents out there and grandparents. This is a group family that was there at the tournament supporting their child. You know, it's not just that you send your kids to an event, but that you're there with them and they can see you and you're supporting what they're doing, you know. So the father, the mother, the grandmother, you know, everybody kind of comes out to help cheer and support what's going on with our young people. So we had a great time out there. I think everything went very well, and we hope to do some more videos and show you the kids out working in the community. We're gonna, our goal is to have them in a drone competition. If not this year, we can get them started learning, because there's also drone flying contests and stuff that are out. And we want our kids to have all of those experiences as they move forward. So hats off to everybody that came. And if you didn't make it or you don't have your child involved, get in touch with us. We'd like to get you and your family involved in the what the Youth Technology Club is doing. It's open to all kids from 9 to 18 years old. And, we have a great time. It's a long day. We went out there at 8 in the morning, or 7:30 we was there in the morning, and they finished at 5. At 5, I think, or about 5:30 before we got out of there. So it's a long day, but the kids got some medals. They met people. They had fun. They got and they do a lot of this work themselves and organizing and making sure they're at the tournament on time and everything that they have to do. So it's a teamwork and a growth experience for our young people. So if you get a chance, or if you have a child, a grandchild, or something, we had a grandfather out there with his grandson the whole day. Just, supporting our young people is great. So that was it. My hats off to all of the people that participated, that came out, and that worked with us. And that work with us continually. I mean, we've worked with some families, some kids, all while their kids were in school for 4, 5, or 6 years, to give them something to do on the weekend and to get something to aspire for. So contact the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, BFTAA.org, or you can go to KUAW.org and see the contact information and find out how you can get your child involved in this. We had a great time. Now, I'm going to get ready to close out with the UNN News again so that you can hear a little bit about what's going on in the news world, and then we're going to call it a day. We're here with the BFTAA and More Show from 5 to 5:45 every Monday. Got to cut it short today because I have an important phone call that I have to make, but be sure and join us again next Monday right here, 5 o'clock, 5 to 5:45 for BFTAA and More. So now we'll give you UNN News. I think we'll try. Let's see.
This is UNN Urban Network News, national news and information for and about people of color. And this time, the color is orange. The consequences of President-elect Donald Trump fulfilling his promise to abolish the Department of Education will have a widespread effect on students from kindergarten to 12th grade, along with low-income college students. He's also suggested that he would scale back temporary protected status, which allows people already in the United States to stay and work legally if their homelands are deemed unsafe. The president-elect wants to replace General Lloyd Austin III, the nation's first black Secretary of Defense, with a former Army National Guardsman and Fox News commentator. As Trump reveals his questionable cabinet picks, the question is asked, will black supporters Tim Scott and Byron Donalds get their black jobs, or will all of their shucking and jiving be in vain?
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Then here's a great idea. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Yes, one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program and we'll come and remove your car for free. And you get a tax deduction. Call the Veteran Donation Program now.
800-880-5013. That's 800-880-5013.
You've been listening to UNN Urban Network News, national news and information for and about people of color.